The wasteland is built on stories, campfire whispers, half-truths, and desperate hopes. They're what keep people walking through the ash, clinging to something that isn't survival for survival's sake. But not every story's a lie. Some of them, they find you. The ghost of Adam's Reach. That's what they called it. A figure wrapped in light, appearing in the deadliest rad zones, pulling the doomed from the brink. Some said it healed wounds, cured sickness. Others swore it was a death omen, guiding the lost to whatever comes after. I figured it was just another fairy tale. But the wasteland's full of folks chasing things they shouldn't. One of them was a caravanner's kid. Kid ran off talking about how he was going to find the ghost and bring it back. Make it save their whole camp from starvation and sickness. Brave, stupid, like they usually are. His father came to me with a sack of caps, eyes hollow. Find him, please. I didn't believe in ghosts, but I believed in caps. Adam's Reach wasn't like anything I'd seen. The dirt glowed faintly, a sickly green that seemed alive. The air shimmered, like the whole place was trembling under some invisible weight. My Geiger counter whined constantly, a sharp, nervous hum. I tightened my mask and pressed on. The first thing I found was a corpse. Couldn't tell much. It was burned. Bones half buried in dirt that glowed like embers. Not the boy, though. That was the good news. The bad news? The ground here didn't just kill you, it made sure nothing of you stayed. I walked until I saw it. At first, I thought it was just another mirage, a figure in the distance shimmering and faint. But it moved. Not like a ghoul, not like anything I'd seen before. Deliberate, purposeful. It didn't stagger or shamble. It walked like it had somewhere to be. I called out. The figure didn't stop, so I followed. The ferals came at dusk. They always do. Like something pulls them out of the dirt when the sun dips low. 6 or 7 of them, half melted, jaws snapping. I put the first 2 down with my rifle, but then it jammed. Always does when you need it most. The last thing I remember was a claw raking across my chest and the taste of copper. When I woke up, I wasn't on the ground. I was somewhere clean, quiet. The air felt different, lighter. The figure wasn't a ghost. It was a woman. Her suit was patched together from old-world tech, humming softly with an eerie green glow. The helmet was off, revealing a sharp, weathered face. Not old, but tired in a way that's older than years. She introduced herself as Dr. Mira Torres, said I'd been lucky to survive. Why bother saving me? I asked. Her voice was steady, calm, because no one else would. She told me about her mission. Years ago, before the bombs, she'd worked on something called a radiation scrubber, a machine meant to clean the air, heal the land. But the bombs had stopped all that. Now she was trying to pick up the pieces, using the scraps left behind. Does it work? I asked. She gave me a thin smile. Not yet. Mira wasn't the only thing in Adam's reach. The children of Adam had found her too. The cult didn't see her as a savior. To them, she was a heretic, an enemy. Radiation wasn't a poison to them, it was a blessing, a gift from their glowing God. And anyone trying to undo that gift, well, they had to be stopped. They'd been hunting her for weeks, she said. And she knew it was only a matter of time before they caught up. That's when I asked about the boy. Her face fell. She told me she'd found him too late. The rads had already done their work. She buried him herself, marked the grave, but didn't have much hope anyone would find it again. I thought about his father waiting for me to bring him home. I thought about the caps. And then I thought about the fact I didn't even know the boy's name. I told her I'd stay, not because I cared about her mission or her scrubber or her damn cultists, just because I was tired of walking away. They came 3 days later. You could hear them first chanting some garbled prayer that made your skin crawl. Then the shooting started. Mira and I fired from the bunker, taking them down one by one, but there were too many. They were crawling out of the haze, wave after wave. We couldn't hold them forever. "The scrubber's ready," Mira shouted over the gunfire. "But it needs time to boot up." Time we didn't have. She ran for the controls while I kept firing. The machine roared to life, shaking the bunker like an earthquake. The air grew hot and heavy, crackling with static. Then the cultists breached the door. One of them tackled me and we went down in a heap. I don't remember much after that. Just Mira screaming, the sound of the machine surging, and a blinding flash of green. When I woke up, the world was quiet. The air wasn't shimmering anymore. My Geiger counter was silent. The cultists were gone, either dead or scattered. And Mira? She was alive, sitting by the scrubber's console with her helmet off, staring at the horizon. "It worked," she said, her voice barely above a whisper. The land still glowed faintly, but it felt different, less hostile, like the wasteland itself had taken a breath. "What now?" I asked. She looked at me, her eyes heavy with everything she'd lost and everything she still had to do. "Now we keep going, one step at a time." I left not long after. Told the caravan leader about his son. Didn't take the caps. It didn't feel right. Mira stayed behind, working on her machine. I heard stories later, people saying the air around Adam's Reach had started to clear, that the radiation wasn't as bad as it used to be. They still talk about the ghost of Adam's Reach. I don't tell them the truth. Some stories are better left the way they are. But if you ever find yourself out there, breathing air that doesn't burn your lungs, remember, it wasn't a ghost that saved you. It was her.